Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. We haven't got much time left, but it is time for Inter versus Atalanta. First big match of the season against one of the big top six teams, we can say, with confidence now with Atalanta. They're not a underdog story anymore. They're not the Cinderella story of Italy anymore. They are one of the certainties of Italy, Europa League champions. Spent a lot of money this summer as well. Probably one of the best transfer windows in the whole of Serie A. And kick off tonight, 7:45 p.m. And here is the predicted lineup. Let's get straight into it. We talked about Champions League draw yesterday, but now it's time to focus on Serie A. And Inzaghi continues with his trusted 11. No surprises, no shocks. I was maybe expecting potentially, again, it's always the same old argument between Darmian and Dumfries. But yeah, Darmian scored last week. So why are you even discussing this? But again, Darmian can score, a hat trick and things wouldn't change. It's just about his characteristics. But again, I'm not losing sleep over this decision. Darmian, Matty Doms can continue starting. Um, all season for all I like. But apart from, I mean, not apart from that, everything else is completely unchanged. The only change is Lautaro coming in for Taremi. Now, this is one where it's interesting. Inzaghi, I mean, we're talking about Champions League. We need to make sure. I mean, Lautaro essentially has missed the first two games because even the first game against Genoa, he played that without a preseason. So respect to Lautaro, but essentially we haven't had Lautaro for the first two match days. There was talks. Well, I mean, he didn't even he wasn't even part of the squad against Lecce, and there was talks that it wasn't just fatigue. There was a slight muscle pull or like just more like fatigue, and that he's not 100% at the moment. So I would think about this very carefully with it for if I was Inzaghi because any little setback to Lautaro now that means again losing him for a little while longer for more games. I know the international break is coming up, so actually, if he is going to get injured right now, if it's a slight 1 or 2 week injury, it's probably the right time to do it now, so he doesn't get called up by Argentina. But at the same time, I don't want Lautaro's because he still is in pre-season kind of preparation. To be honest, compared to the other guys, I don't want that to be any more setbacks. We need Lautaro to be at the same level that Turam is now, that the rest of the team is now, if we want to perform as we did last year, because we were, especially the first half of the year last year, we were carried by Lautaro. Lautaro scoring in the first half of games made us a lot more comfortable at the back and it helped us defend better as well. So let's see. I do trust Inzaghi on this, but sometimes I also know Inzaghi can force players through tiny issues and if they're not 100%. And I was pretty content with Taremi's debut. Of course, his link up with Thuram isn't quite there yet, but I wouldn't lose sleep again if we had to start the Atalanta game with Taremi and Thuram, and then you could bring on Lautaro maybe in the last 20, 30 minutes if needed. I saw Gazzetta, this is a Sky Sport lineup. I saw Gazzetta had in their predicted lineups Augusto actually instead of Di Marco, which you know, I wouldn't be too against as well. Atalanta are a very physical team, especially with their wing backs. Um, that would be quite interesting. Bellanova on that side, we know he's got a lot of pace. Augusto probably has definitely a bit more athleticism to deal with a Bellanova compared to Di Marco. Um, but yeah, happy with the lineup completely. What do you guys think? I mean, of course, another talking point that we keep talking about that if you know Inzaghi, you're not surprised about is of course Mkhitaryan. Even in the last game in the preview, some people were saying like, "Oh, Zielinski might start, oh, Frattesi might start." Again, all the predicted lineups have Hendrik Mkhitaryan in there, but I think it's getting to that stage now where he's put two subpar performances. Well, Lecce one wasn't that bad, but again, it was probably like a 6 out of 10 performance. If he continues on this rate, then there's really is a chance for Frattesi or Zielinski to start having a staking a claim for that spot. Because last year there was no arguments. Mkhitaryan was undisputed. He probably had a better season even than Barella, I would say, who had a subpar season if you talk just in terms of consistency of performances. But already this year, it looks like he's on a downward trajectory. But again, faith in Inzaghi, faith in Mkhitaryan to get things done against Atalanta's midfield, which is not their starting midfield in the theory. Pasalic coming in because they got some injuries at the back. Darun is having to play as one of the centre backs. Pasalic is usually plays a little bit more of an attacking role, but he's come deeper here next to Ederson. So there's potential for Inter to take advantage of this. I would really like to see Thuram and Lautaro try to exploit this side, Darun, Bellanova. Bellanova, we know from his Inter time, he's not the greatest defensively as well. Here is like Ruggeri, who is actually a wing back, is playing as centre back. So they've got a bit of a emergency at the moment. Atalanta at the back, Scalvini's out, Kolasinac out, Bakker out, Scamacca, Zaniolo. Lukman has only just come back into the squad after, you know, he wanted to leave. So it's not full strength Atalanta, still an Atalanta that's, recovering from those injury issues. And, Cup Miners has finally left now, so that drama is over. But Brescianini, very, very interesting, very good signing that already scored 2 goals. Retegi's on red hot fire form, 3 goals already. De Ketelaar had a very good season last year. Edison, fantastic midfielder. Yeah, very good team, very good team. But again, susceptible at the back. Against Torino, they conceded 2 goals. But they also could have scored 2, 3, 4 goals, really, to be honest. So they're definitely a team that's going to score goals, but they will leave, especially with this makeshift defense. You should be able to score 1, 2 goals at least against this Atalanta defense. So it's going to be a tricky game, but I'm confident going into it. I'm confident going into it in terms of injury. Yeah, at the moment, only Buchanan is out. De Vrij has also recovered, so we've got full strength bench as well, with Zielinski back, De Vrij back. So if things are not going well, Inzaghi's got the opportunity to change things up as well. So and we need to continue our win streak now. We've got a 1 win streak. We definitely don't want Juve to build up too much of a gap. We need to get things going. So yeah, a must-win game for Inzaghi and the boys, and I'm predicting a win, maybe not a convincing win, probably a narrow win. I'm predicting a 2-1 victory for Inter. I think Retegui or Brescianini will score 1 for Atalanta. And then for Inter, if Lautaro does start, predicting Lautaro to get his first goal of the season. And then one from maybe a set piece, perhaps a Turam or a Cherby or Pavard. Pavard still needs to break his duck, right, for Inter. Be nice. It'd be a fantastic game to break his duck. So yeah, that's my prediction. No rotation from Inzaghi, but yeah, with that Champions League fixture, I think it's announced on Saturday. He is really going to start needing to rotate this team around more. But he did that last season. Let's not forget. So we'll get into all those things. Post match today, I'm not sure, guys. I've had some very bad news in the family recently, just yesterday. So not sure if I'm in the frame of mind for a long 1 hour live long stream. So it might just be a recorded reaction like this one. So hope you guys appreciate that. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know your predictions down below. And it's an interesting Serie A weekend as well, by the way. Juve, Roma playing. Who else is playing? Let's have a quick look actually before I say bye to you. Inter-Atalanta, Lazio, Milan. So yeah, it's the first weekend of actual big games in Serie A. That should tell us a little bit more about the team. So make sure you tune in and let me know your thoughts post match. Ciao ragazzi, forza Inter. Let's beat